Okay, here's a math lesson for everyone right now. The price tag to run a popular student loan program is far larger than the Department of Education estimated. That's according to a new report. And now the Government Accountability Office is revealing at least $108 billion in student loans will be forgiven in the coming years. I want to go to Sabrina first. Sabrina, let's think about it. It's taxpayers here, right, who are ultimately on the hook for these education costs if they're forgiven. So do you think the president-elect, Donald Trump, is going to be as forgiving, shall we say, with these student loans as President Obama?
Well, first of all, it is not a shocker that the government created a problem and is now making it worse. The reason that, college tuition prices are so high is because government got into the business of student loans. They drove up prices and made it ultimately harder for families to send children to college, and now kids, young adults, are graduating college with no jobs, and they have all of this mounting debt. It is a terrible position to be in. The problem is that if you sort of forgive the debt altogether, it is the taxpayers, many of whom have all sorts of other expenses or are trying to save or do any number of things with their life, who will be footing the bill. So there's really no great answer here. We can only hope that we sort of find some middle ground to help those young graduates as well as the American taxpayer.
Yeah, it's sort of this no-win situation. In other words, the government should have just, stayed out of it from the very beginning. I hear you on that, because they have created some false incentives. Bruce actually wants to create a few more because he's talking about free college. Bruce, your reaction to all of this, and how would you change the current system?
Well, I think, first of all, I'm feeling the burn a little bit. Remember, Bernie Sanders was for some sort of free college for state schools, and it doesn't appear that we're going to get this money back, which is not to say that we shouldn't try to go after some of it, but I do think that this is a time to consider this and to start over and move on. And even Donald was talking about some debt forgiveness, so I think that's where we're headed anyway.
But at the same time, Mike, what about precedents here? And what kind of message does that send? Hey, go out there, run up a $100,000 tab. Taxpayers will take care of it all.
I agree with you totally, Trish. I hope President-elect Trump is less forgiving. If you forgive this debt, you're punishing all those people who actually borrowed money and paid it back. So I hope the president-elect is less forgiving and tries to get as much money repaid as possible.
Back to Sabrina's point in the beginning, Bill, the fact that the government's out there so willing to lend, doesn't that create, under the law of unintended consequences, a whole other set of problems unto itself?
Well, I have a plan for saving the taxpayers from all of this. Instead of having the government lend money for colleges, let's have the colleges lend money for college. And that way, if they think that their degree in art history or poetry studies is really valuable in the marketplace, fine, they can take a chance on the graduate and they'll get paid back.
Right, because right now, the only incentive is for colleges to keep gobbling up as much money as they can in tuition costs to keep offering all these loans. And of course, John, you got the government out there ready, willing, and able to keep providing them.
Well, I'll just say that I don't have a plan like my friend Bill. My plan would be to just get government out of this altogether. And let's start by not forgiving these student loans. Only in Washington could we come up with a scenario whereby people actually believe the wealth is created out of thin air such that people could go to college. In fact, there are people on the other side of those loans. To forgive those loans means that someone else is going to pay for them. What a shameful idea. Those who entered those loans should be forced to pay them back.
Yeah, that said, hey, Sabrina, we're in this spot now. Look, to your point earlier, we never should have gotten ourselves here, and the government deserves some of this blame. The students do too. But, right. How do you reconcile it all?
No, well, John's absolutely right. This is just another example in which government will be picking winners and losers. You are a winner if you are drowning in debt and you can't pay for it. You are going to be a loser if you are a taxpayer who is now footing that bill. And I think what gets lost in all of that is that we should be giving students and their families more control and more sort of agency, so to speak. When it's time to go to college, you need to choose, whether or not you should be going to college. Do you need a 4-year degree, maybe a 2-year degree, maybe vocational training? What kind of degree are you getting? We should be encouraging people to take more ownership over those decisions. And
what
this
you're
is
basically
exactly
talking about, it sounds to me like what she's talking about, Mike, is some market influences in the education space?
Well, if you get the government out of it, as John said, you will have market influences. Number one, the price of going to school will drop. And number two, people will decide whether or not to go to college or do something else for a living, depending on what they think the return is going to be, not based on how many carrots the government is offering.